Good morning. I'm just going to give people a couple of minutes to join. How are you? I'm well. Thanks for asking. Today's lead story is about how Elon Musk is in a position to potentially profit hugely from his empire of contracts with the federal government. That's the lead story. Just down here, there's another story which I think should be the lead today. It's about how the airstrike plan for Yemen was leaked to a journalist in a group text. Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, managed to text plans for bombing Yemen to the chief editor of The Atlantic magazine last week, just before bombing Yemen. These are not bright guys running the federal government. Pete Hegseth, I think, is eminently unqualified to run the world's largest military, and once again has shown it. The story is mind-boggling, and I think that the reason the New York Times has run it here instead of here is because they want to be seen to be non-partisan and not overreacting to every major mess up that the Trump administration makes. But personally, I think that story warrants inclusion higher up. There is a huge picture here of the presidential palace in Sudan, and there's blood all over the steps from the civil war in Sudan. Again, that's an important story too, and I think the Times is doing its best to show restraint in its placement. But when you edit a paper, you make different considerations for when you're editing digital media, and the positioning, the size of the letters, and so on matters. When Donald Trump was convicted on felony counts, the New York Times ran it huge, right at the top. And I think there's sort of some interesting decision making going on there around what was more important. The story about Elon Musk's space empire is by Eric Lipton, who's an investigative journalist, and it's very good. He's gone and he's looked at, okay, Elon Musk spent $300 million to essentially elect Donald Trump and is now reaping the return on that investment by being very close to Donald Trump and effectively seeing a huge rise in the number of contracts. There's a nice little graph there. That's the $300 million that Elon Musk spent on Trump's campaign. And that there is the chart of contracts with SpaceX since, over the last couple of years. You notice that it's gone way up recently and is poised to go up even more. The piece does draw a good contrast between Elon Musk running the Department of Government Efficiency, which, of course, as we know, is supposed to stop taxpayer money being wasted. But then it's like, on the one hand, he's doing this. On the other, Elon Musk is saying we should go to Mars, give me $100 billion, $200 billion to do so. It is remarkable. The piece quotes some really good ethicists. Here's somebody important, saying, by any objective standard, this is inappropriate. Given the power he wields and the access he enjoys, we've just never seen anything like this. And that, I suspect, is why it's on the front page of the New York Times today. The thing is, in a democracy, you kind of get worn down by corruption, right? So we all know Elon Musk's corrupt. Boring, right? But it isn't boring. It's really interesting to see him do it. And there's something sort of so brazen about his not caring how he's perceived that makes this story particularly interesting. There's a bunch of people not quoted, in particular Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos's rocket company. They declined comment on this. Obviously, they're hoping that Elon will throw them a bone just to look better. I'm sure he would. The other story that's quite interesting is this story on the front page down the bottom, which is about how Elon Musk and Donald Trump went to the NCAA wrestling division finals in Philadelphia on the weekend. Donald Trump was received like a hero by many of the corn-fed men who showed up. The report kind of goes into that, but there's a sort of interesting contrast between the way the supporters viewed Donald Trump and the way that they viewed Elon Musk. A lot of people are very suspicious of Musk. They think that he's overreaching. They think that Donald Trump, is being potentially controlled, made to look bad by Musk, and they don't like him. Of course, the thing is, Elon Musk doesn't care if you like him or not. He's bought access to Donald Trump. He's bought his seat at the table, and he intends to return on his investment. This is a story older than time, and unfortunately is playing out in front of us. The only check on Elon Musk's power is Donald Trump, and Donald Trump isn't going to stop him. So Thanks for reading the newspaper with me this morning so that you don't have to read the newspaper. I appreciate it. If you are in a text group, try not to share any plans for bombing countries. Those are my top tips for surviving your next 100 days in political office. Thanks, folks. I'll see you tomorrow.